We're back. Let's get it, man. We are here. We are here. Welcome back to the Coach's Huddle. It's your boy, the coach, and we're back. We have the call-in shows back on the channel. These will be every Saturday like we used to have them all the time. I'm going to put the link in the chat, and we're going to get to anything you guys want to talk about, preferably off-season laden topics. Would love to get the free agency. We just recently had news on some possible voided contracts in the ways of not Brandon Ayuk, but Juwan Jennings and Kendrick Bourne, I believe also Jordan Elliott were possible contracts that were going to be voided. I pinned the link in the chat. You guys come up. Come on, come all. You guys get in here. We're just going to have a good old-fashioned conversation like we used to, right? So this is you guys' time, because how I used to lead all of the call-in shows is I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you guys. This is a platform that is driven by the faithful. We're driven by the fans. This is a fan-powered platform, and it's been a while. We haven't had call-in shows at least for a year. We kind of killed them off during the off season. I just felt like all of the production and all of the preparation that I put into the live watch show parties, it really just ate my Saturdays up, guys. Like, there was just no way that I could do a call-in show, like a real call-in show. You know, guys, we don't do like 45-minute call-in shows. We do like no less than an hour. You know, it just couldn't work. You know what I'm saying? For me to do that type of time and then do it back to back with the live watch show parties on Sunday. So, we're back though. Off season is here. The link is pinned in the chat. So you guys can go ahead and, get in here and just share your off season thoughts. Definitely, where we stand in the NFC West. That's a big topic that I want to hear from you guys. Just where do we stand? Exactly. How do you feel about Kyle and Brock now after the season? That's another topic that I would love to hear from you guys about. Do we trust Purdy? Right? Have we gotten to the point where Brock Purdy has gone beyond the conversation of trusting him as our franchise quarterback? Did he give us a franchise quarterback performance this season? Free agency. Who do you think should stay? Who do you think should go? That's also a big topic that is floating around right now. There's also something that I saw as well. I don't want to say his name, but I want to say it respectfully because I don't know the guy. But I just want to lead with respect. But Dieter, I saw this, Gojira. Just saw a video with Dieter Case saying there are rumors of replacing Lynch within the organization. Just thoughts, nothing concrete. Yes, I saw this commentary too. I believe Dieter said this on Rob Stat's channel. I saw it on Twitter. As a matter of fact, you know what? I think I can find this so we can get straight to it, quite honestly. Because that's how I roll, bro. Like, if we're gonna talk about he said, she said about, you know, different, especially content creators and members of the media. I believe he is a member of the media as well. I don't want to misquote anybody. You know what I'm saying? So I might as well go ahead and throw up what he said. Honestly, I don't know if you'll be able to hear the video or not, but this is what we're going to do. We're going to throw it up anyway. Let me know if you can hear this. I'm going to go ahead and share this, and then we're going to get just to this comment that Gojira Von Jinks put up so we can understand, we can all be abreast on what exactly is happening. So let me share the screen. right. So, all right, we're in here. Let's go ahead and hear it. Let me know if you guys can hear this.
Scouting. First of all,
Yeah.
John Lynch is not a GM. He's not a scout. He has no scouting background. Like, John Lynch was there to shake hands and kiss babies, and Kyle was there to do all the stuff. Now, if Kyle's realizing, hey, these jobs are too big, completely understand. He didn't know what he didn't know, right? Now he does. Well, that's great. Then send John Lynch to Amazon. Let him call the games, get rid of stupid Kirk Herbstreit and Al Michaels, the worst broadcast combination in the history of the universe, and bring in a real GM. Bring in somebody that's really good. Let Kyle cook the food. Let somebody else shop for the groceries.
There has been conversation about that.
Significant conversation?
Not enough to where it's actually happening, but there has been conversation to that degree. Well, it wouldn't shock me in the next couple of weeks if a hire was made that gave you a pretty clear indication that that's the way things are going.
In the next couple of weeks?
Yeah.
Okay, that is something. Does this
might not happen, but the conversation, in order to bring this person in, such a delineation, while not strictly prescribed in the hiring, would make it very easy to infer, or very easy to see how such a delineation of John Lynch as president of football operations, fill in the blank as day-to-day general manager, and Kyle Shanahan as head coach and most important voice in the building would fall into place. That does not mean it's going to happen. It does not mean that it is, to my knowledge, imminent. It's just to say that in the conversation on should we bring this guy in, such a delineation would have to informally have take place, because there's no way to bring him in otherwise.
Is that why Al Guido is now CEO?
No, they just wanted to give Al more money.
All right. So, I mean, you guys heard it. Tell me what you think about this. The inference is that Trent Baalke is the guy that Dieter was referencing without saying his name. Do we have a John Lynch problem, guys? Do we have a John Lynch issue? We've already talked about, I believe that there's 18 first-round pick misses that we've had with John Lynch being in charge of the draft. I just feel like it's a little disingenuous to put the draft on John, the selections on John, when we keep hearing on and on and on again how Kyle is the final say and word of the organization. It's just, for me, it's hard because you don't really know where to strike all of your blame or your responsibility, for that matter. We don't know how many positions, or I mean, not positions, but we don't know how many decisions that were first round picks that didn't go our way and we don't know how many times John was on the other side of that saying like, hey, I've done all of the work, right, to bring us the best decision and the best methodology on how we're getting to this decision. And we're going your way, and I have to keep my mouth shut about this, and we've got to move forward. But ultimately, nobody's going to know that you got cold feet at the altar and you switched up the decision at the last hour, in the 11th hour. And I've heard stories about picks like that, where certain guys weren't supposed to be picked. So I don't know. It's hard to place all of this on John. I know that in a sense, because we want things to change and we want to shake things up, the biggest thing that we go to in that menu of choices is hire and fire and acquire, right? Like, that's what we need to do. But I think that we need to start paying attention to what's happening in front of us. There's something that I used to pay attention to every year, and that is default perspectives. Default perspectives are dangerous. And what happens is that when you think about the environment as if you already know what will be, what should be, how things are going to happen, it allows you to do a lot of dangerous things. One of the biggest things that happens when you get into default perspectives is you inherit opinions. You lose your own opinion because when you had your own opinion, you went with the groupthink of what the environment was giving you at the time. And what happens is that you inherit a perspective that isn't your own. You don't know when to change. You don't know when to pay attention to things that let you know that the default perspective around you is not the standard anymore. Narratives get absorbed all the time, meaning that there was a time where you could not win a Super Bowl if you didn't have a Patrick Mahomes. That was a real thing at one point, right? Where it was you need a Josh Allen, right? You need a Lamar Jackson, because at the time that was the excuse for explaining away why teams like ours, who were very talented from basically tackle to tackle, position to position, that was the way to excuse away why we weren't winning. Right? We don't have a Patrick Mahomes. That's why we're not winning. Forget the fact that we've blown 10-point leads. Forget the fact that we've had horrible game management in playoffs. Forget the fact that we're remarkably injured every year. Lose over the fact that we don't even use all of our depth judiciously, on top of the fact contemporaneously during situations that need to change and we need to make adjustments right now. All of that gets thrown to the wayside because the easy perspective is to just absorb a narrative, right? Accept the trend. Let the algorithm think for you, right? And for me, I believe that you rob yourself of true growth, understanding what's happening around you when you don't take the true data that's in front of you, right? The real dangers are reacting instead of observing, performing instead of building, right? And forecasting instead of executing. It's paralysis by analysis. All you're doing is being the guy who has the best laid plans of how it's gonna go. Niners can't draft. Seattle won the Super Bowl. They're eons away from us. How are we gonna be able to catch up to them, right? Anybody can do that. Anybody can forecast, right? But you got to go out there, you got to actually execute and make things happen. I believe in the execution that we saw this season from this team in a lot of different environments that were not favorable to us. I'm leaning on that. Forecasting if you trust in forecasting, what do you do after that? Believe it? The logic of saying that the Niners can't draft, that the Niners are not going to be able to bounce back, that we're not going to be able to get the requisite talent that we need on the defensive line, the Niners are never going to do anything with the offensive line. Why watch? Why watch? I hate to do this, but what are you here for? What are you here for? So, look, I got some callers up. We're going to be able to talk about it, but listen, I just think that it's okay you're not supposed to ignore the past, but at the same time, man, I'm excited about the future, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and this is another thing. Shea Martinez, I love the engagement. I really do. I really do. But what you can't do is you can't troll me from a chat with a link in it to come talk to me. You can't do that. All right, that's whack. So if you're going to sit up here and challenge literally every point that I have while I'm talking, click the damn link, get in here, and say it with your chest so we can have a real conversation. Click the link. Get in here. What's up, brother?
What's going on, Coach? Long time, man. How you been?
It's been a while, man. How you been?
Good, man. Good. I was doing better, when we were still playing and winning and that kind of thing. But obviously that
Definitely.
went down the damn drain real quick. Like, see, I grew up at a different time. I remember watching us when we was good
Hmm.
and when we won Super Bowls. Hell, for the longest time, I didn't know what it felt like to lose a Super Bowl.
Hmm.
But it happened. Happened again. Happened again. I mean,
Hmm.
it's been heartbreak after heartbreak. And if they think bringing Trent Baalke back is going to help anything, they're
I don't
sadly
understand
full.
that. I don't
They're
understand that.
sad. It don't make no sense. He didn't get
I don't
along.
understand it even if it was true.
No, no, it might be true. That's the scary part. That's the scary part. It might be. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the Yorks liked him because he saved them money. He never
All
went
right,
out on a spending spree.
so I don't.
He's not going to
Uh,
get along with Shanahan.
I
What are
was
they
about to
going to
say
do?
I
Well,
respect Kyle. I really do.
what are they going to do? Are they going to take and put John Lynch like as president or something to where maybe he's Trent's boss and then Trent has say over the? That's not going to work. Kyle is not going to let that happen. Kyle will
No,
be
see
like, you know what? Trade me.
this is the thing with with the Trent Baalke situation. What that does is that breaks down the entire agreement. To be
It
honest
ain't
with
gonna
you,
work. It ain't gonna work.
one
They came.
yeah,
They came in there together. People don't want to hear that. Everybody wants to think that they can just say, "Okay, well, let's get rid of John Lynch." You can't do that though. You got
no,
to realize that the second you do that, you've lost Kyle as well.
yeah, that's not the arrangement anymore. Like the moment John is gone, it's not even Trent Baalke. It's the fact that there's somebody else that you hired outside of my control, right? Because it's all about control for
Yeah,
Kyle. He wants to be final say in word as far as
he's the whole
football
reason
operations
why
are concerned.
John Lynch
He's
got
the
the
right.
job.
So how the hell are you going to get rid? It just doesn't. And listen, I'm not here to challenge anybody who's saying that the conversations are real,
Yeah,
right? But you got to show me your work. You just can't give me the answer because this one is going to take some gymnastics in order to get Kyle to accept Trent
I don't
Baalke,
see it
for them to
happening.
get over an entire conversation over Kyle feeling like, oh, so all right, well, let me
He
challenge this. Let
drafted
me challenge
more
it.
injured players
We
than
can't
we
be on here
have.
agreeing with each other. We can't be in here agreeing with each other. So let me try to take the other side of it. I'll try to take the other side. They've already done this in a sense. All right? Because they took back the purse strings and brought back in Parag. All right,
Yeah,
and took over the finances. Okay.
yeah.
So because of that, I think that was off the back of the Trent extension, the Christian McCaffrey extension, Brock getting hurt for the year, Brendan Ayuk getting his deal, right?
Yeah.
And I think that that was enough for them to step in and say, "Hey, Kyle, I understand that your final say in word, but we're stepping in on this side of the.
There was two
But go ahead.
major ones that really played against him was the trading up for the Trey Lance thing and the whole
Brendan Ayuk.
Brandon Ayuk deal because the second they signed that deal and he didn't really want to be here after he
Mhm.
signed it, you know.
This could be the next. This could be the other shooter drop. They've done it already with the money, right? I think the Brandon Ayuk contract was the last straw. That's when they took over and said, "All right, well, we can't take your word for it anymore. We're moving with our own SOP on how we're going to deal with these guys moving forward." I don't see Kyle taking this laying down.
No.
I don't think John's going. To be honest with you, I don't think John's going anywhere. It
If
would be
if he if he does, it'll be some kind of move within the organization. Okay, so we're gonna all of a sudden make you the president or vice president or something of football operation.
hmm
Kind of like what the Broncos did with Elway there for a while. Remember?
hmm
And Lynch is a well enough liked person to where you could be like, okay, I get that,
hmm
but he has no more control over the draft process anymore or the spending of the money. And that's where Trent Baalke would come in because honestly, what a lot of people don't realize is the team that we built, a lot of that was on money that Trent Baalke's saved us when he was a GM. Now,
Mm-hmm.
he was stingy as fuck and would never spend them, excuse my language. He was
No, he
stingy as
avoided it.
hell. You know what I'm saying? But he just would not spend no money. And then he drafted more damn ACL fucking injured players than anybody ever has. For us,
Yeah.
I mean, his track record was not good with injured players.
Yeah. So look at this comment right here by Observed Natural Evolution. The kicker getting picked in the third round was crazy work, and how did that turn out? We're a good team with great players carrying Kyle. We're effed no matter if we win games. So look, but you can't. Who but a head coach would okay that? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like some of the picks tell on themselves. To be honest with you, because they don't make sense,
But
and you
it
have to
probably
say
did to
for
Kyle, though. It probably did to Kyle, though. Kyle's thinking was, I've got the whole team, okay? Let's not pay Robbie Gold millions of dollars. Let me just draft a kid, okay? And it was a good thought until they drafted one that was moody as hell and couldn't kick straight to save his damn life. I mean, I remember Jose Cortez back when Garcia was our QB there for a while. He was just out there losing games for us. He kick it under the rail. He kick it beside. I mean, good God. We went and got him 2.0. It's like, come on now. You know, I never liked that. That right there was a crushing blow also against them two picking.
yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
if they was going to go, wow, okay, I don't like the Trent Baalke thing. That's never going to work. But if they was to go out and get somebody like a Howie Roseman or somebody that is actually a personnel guy. Now I know they can't get Roseman, but say somebody to that extent that is a actual scout that knows what they're looking at. Because I don't think Kyle and John do.
mm.
They go based off of can they get along with this guy.
All right. So one thing I will say is that I do agree. There is a sense of them being way too skittish, or I don't know, like hyper fixated. I don't know the right term, but they seem to really put character and like the guy being a Niner. They really care about that. And I
Hmm.
don't know where that stands on like value, if that matters or not. I really don't know.
It's hard to tell.
One thing that I will say is that they have a consumer mindset when it comes to the draft. And that's what hurts me the most from a
Yeah.
football perspective. And what I mean by that is they just want to buy something to fix a use case. They don't look to acquire with investment in mind, with like development in mind, with, hey, we're gonna get this guy, he's gonna be better. Unless they have a guy like that's young and they need to play right away, and they have to talk about his development because what else are you going to talk about? How
Hmm.
else are you going to bring up his deficiencies? Unless you're going to cover it with, oh, well, he's going to develop like Michael Williams. Michael Williams had to play right away. Now,
Yeah.
if we needed
Up and
Michael
stout.
Williams, right? If we didn't need Michael Williams, right? And Michael Williams was just on our team, they would be telling the truth about him. Like, he's got some work to do. We can use him on second downs in the run game. Maybe that, but because they have to play him, they shroud all of his deficiencies like it's
I wish it
development.
would get to a point where he would have to play these wide receivers and running backs we keep drafting. I mean, I swear to God, I don't want to hear one more thing about what's his damn name, Jacob Cowan, until I actually see him play in
Yeah,
a game. Show me him, show me Watkins. And the thing is, in college, they was good.
yeah.
I mean, they wasn't like phenomenal, but hell, they was good. They was better than some of the shit we had going on this year. With that
Mhm.
wide receiver. And I'm hearing they're down on Ricky right now too.
I don't. I'm being fair, man. Cause you have to talk. when I start speaking like this about a player, it's because I really don't have that much to say about him. I don't know what they're going to do with Ricky Persall. He's got to get healthy. He's got to be consistently healthy.
I don't see he's a track guy. I don't see him ever being healthy like that. I just don't. I hate it. I wish he would. I like
Hmm.
him. I like his play style. But
Hmm.
when you have that kind of play style and you are a smaller guy like he is, when you hit the turf wrong, you probably ain't getting back up to play the next play.
Right. So, what are you feeling about these free agents, man? Is there anybody who you definitely want to keep, or you don't mind anybody going?
I'm gonna tell you like this now. Honestly, I got people I like, people I don't like. But to be honest with you, I don't care so much as what the name is on the back of the jersey as I do where they could take us. You get what I'm saying? So it might be somebody I've never even heard of that we signed from somebody else, that
Hmm.
turns out to be really good. You never know. They could come from anywhere. But as far as our free agents goes, I mean, well, what's the biggest one, Juwan?
Yeah, Jawan, Jordan Elliott,
Now,
Spencer Burford.
I got one for you. So I saw footage on X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, maybe on TikTok, one of them anyway, of Juwan Jennings when he was in high school
He's a
playing
dog.
quarterback.
Quarterback. Yep.
Why the hell did we not do that in that championship game versus the Eagles once Purdy and Johnson went down? They went to Christian hiking to himself and just running. Then they went to Brock Purdy handing it back off to him.
Man,
Where was that at?
I got no clue, bro. I got no clue. So, as far as Jawan, do you want to keep him or cut him?
It depends on what he's wanting. I mean, it depends on what he gets offered elsewhere. If we can keep him for around the 14 range, yes, maybe. If you've got to go up to the 20 range, then no.
All right. All right. All right. So, look, thanks for the call in, man. Keep calling back in, JOP, man. You know you're my dog. I'm going to get Alan up here next, man. Talk to you, bro.
Peace.
Alan,
Which was good, man. Long
how you
time no
doing, brother?
see.
Hell yeah, man. It's
Last
good
time
to
we
have you,
talked,
man.
man. Last time we talked, it was last year's combine.
Oh, my God.
But I listen, man, and I agree with you and Jesse's takes throughout each week, man. That's why I said I love you and Jesse so much, and Grant, because I love you guys' takes.
Thanks, man.
But keeping a buck, and you can agree with this, coach. I don't want Jawan Jennings back to keep it straight up 100. I don't care if he's even asking for 14 or plus, right? We need
Okay.
to get younger. We need to play our young guys, especially on offense. Our problem is we can never go forward on our offense if we never get younger, right? With this
Hmm.
whole let's go get AJ Brown, that's not going to solve anything, right? We're still going to be slow. We're still going to be pretty predictable on offense, right? Like nothing's going to change there. We have to
Right.
play our offense through the draft, right? And we have to play them on offense. This is where I think Kyle's screwing up our team, right? Because I think, to be honest with you, and you can agree with me, Coach, Kyle should have been gone. He's just been getting bailed out with this
Mm,
quarterbacks, right? Brock bailed him out. Christian bailed him out. He's been getting lucky, and yeah, there's times where he's shown flashes of being great. But
okay.
if those situations didn't, if Brock saved his career, him and John from getting fired, because
Yeah, I could see. Yeah.
there's
Hmm.
no coach or GM trade up 3 first round picks and still have a job. Because every time we see those in the NFL, coach, the year or prior year they're gone. But Brock saved their asses. Keep it 100% a stack, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I got you 100%. Listen, I don't think. Listen, I've definitely had instances where I felt like Kyle should be gone. And I felt as much.
Well, and it's like
Um,
he'll give you like a little nudge just to keep you interested. Like he'll show you good games where oh, you're doing double passes. Where was this like all year? Doing the little Ben Johnson kind of stuff, little wrinkles here and there, but just like he doesn't do it consistently enough where I don't think he tells how the game's going, right? Thinking that
Okay.
assets where that's what screws him up. And then as for like the GM goes, I think the perfect GM would be Dorsey. Drafted Baker up in Cleveland. Cleveland screwed themselves on that, getting rid of Baker. He also
Okay.
was in the same room, I think with Mahomes, right? When he got drafted as well, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
So he knows what he's doing drafting wise. Like he set up teams to be successful. Where he screws himself up is getting a bad head coach to pair up with him. So if we're going to replace John to be up or move him up, whatever, to president, we should try and go out and get uh Dorsett, right? Is that his name? You know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
right, Coach?
Yeah. I just look, man.
Because this whole thing of not playing young players on offense is what's really killing us. Defense, we seem like not to hesitate playing our rookies on defense, but offense it seems like he don't know the plays quite yet, So or player gets hurt and it's kind of slow his progression down. It's like, come on, man. It's just uh play the young guy at this point, especially how the season went. You're playing guys that's in their late 30s that won't be here on the team next year.
All right, so this is my take on going to go get a new guy or whatever. Uh, Kyle is still final say in word, man. So whatever effect that you think a draft guy is gonna have on the team, or some type of GM that's gonna come in and shake things up, the first thing that he's gonna have to be before he's anything is he's gonna have to be a Kyle Shanahan guy. All right, because he's not coming on the staff unless Kyle okays it. Now, unless that agreement or that, unless that's been broken and they can move any way they want to with the organization, I'd be willing to see who they bring in. But anybody who comes in, you got to understand that we're going to be seeing their performance, their moves, their decision making, the final decisions they make. All of that's going to be through the guise of what does Kyle Shanahan think? What is he okay with this? And if he's not, we're always going to get a watered down, bastardized version of whatever type of guy comes in here. You see what I'm saying? So for me,
Yeah.
it's not about go get a guy that's better than John or go get a guy that, can finally stand up to Kyle. It's Kyle, bro. He's got to grow. He's got to
Well,
grow.
it's not even
And
just Kyle. It's also the part of Jed growing some cojones and just taking some privilege away from Kyle. Because Kyle is doing what he's getting told, right? Getting control of the play calls, being a head coach, where it's not easy to control both, right? And this is where we at times get pissed because it's like, while the defense is out on the field, like perfect example, we brought up that NFC Championship game with the Eagles. Crucial play off rip within the first couple plays of the game. What was he doing? Coach? Sitting right there with the offense, talking about what's going to happen, opening script instead of challenging a play where he could have won the challenge and it could have been crucial off rip of the game.
yeah,
Well, this is where because Jed don't care at this point. I feel like that's how he is. He's making money. He don't care. They're making the playoffs, just getting a little profitable. But I don't know. It's just if they really care about winning things, a lot of things would have changed by now.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, I understand that things are changing. All of that stuff in hindsight is awesome. The biggest thing right now is just understanding how we're gonna get younger, and also too, don't forget that we're still in the middle of like purging this roster of the core. All of this is just the Oregon Trail, bro. Like we got a little journey ahead of us, and we're transitioning out a core with a new one. And I feel like those who are taking our team in as a snapshot and looking at, well, all right, who is the next Trent, CMC, Nick Bosa,
Well,
Juwan?
to be
Go
fair
ahead.
though, Coach, I'm sorry to interrupt you. But
No, interrupt me.
I feel like we do have somewhat of a corner defense. Yeah, it's their first year, but I think we have a pretty solid core of guys we got. Yeah,
Name them.
Mikhail wasn't the greatest, but he showed improvement. I think if he didn't get his ACL torn, he probably would have been how Alfred Collins was.
Allen, I got to
Alfred
push
Collins,
back. Allen.
I love Alfred Collins.
Allen, I got to push back. Allen, as much as I love Michael Williams, Michael was good, okay? But he did not solidify himself as a core member on this team
Well,
yet.
I know, no, but
I love him. I love him.
I said if he didn't tore his ACL, he would have shown that could have been one of those. Because it took Alfred Collins about what, the halfway mark to really show he solidified as a potential core piece. So
As a guy,
up this now is for sure one, right? He's a for sure dog. The ones we still got to figure
as a
out
guy.
is CJ West, because CJ West, I ain't gonna lie, he was, for me personally, I think he was underwhelming.
Right.
Right.
It took CJ West a while to get on the field.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna get at. I don't think they're playing him as much as they needed to.
Right.
But same with Siegel. We're still trying to figure out Siegel. But I feel like with Collins, I know you're still hesitant on Mikhail, but I feel like if he gets his feet under him, right, get his reps under him, I feel like he'll get there. But I think what slowed him down from showing everybody how good he would be is that ACL, right? Because all of our rookies on defense improved drastically from the middle of the season to the end of the season.
All right, so this is a couple of things I want to throw at you right quick, right? And I'm not trying to pitch you any gotcha stats, but Michael Williams played 9 games, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Out of the 9 games he played, he only had 20 total tackles with 11 solo tackles. He assisted on 9. He had 1 sack in 9 games, okay? So listen, I'm not here to say that we don't have a guy in Michael Williams. What I am here to say is that we just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
He's shown great spurts.
I get that.
But you gotta, come on, man. Like, what I don't want to do is get so desperate to find somebody to put in that spot that we start shoehorning anybody in there, right? What we're talking about is an Eric Armstead type of player, right? We're talking about a DeForest Buckner type of guy, right? So we already know the standard of what we're supposed to be replacing. And what we can't do is not see that production and then because we picked the guy and he's wearing our colors, just say that he's
well,
you know,
here's
the
thing they got to figure out though, because they, like you said, Armstead and Buckner were the first, right? The first standards of our interior guys. But what they had to figure out, because Buckner and Armstead both played the outside at first, right? So it's the same thing. I say I can't really compare it to the Travis Hunter thing, but they got to decide: is he a solidified D tackle or is he a solidified D end? Because doing that in and out crap, I get it. Yeah, you want the D end to set the edge. Then why don't you get somebody else to do that if you know he does his dominance down in inside, right? In the vortex.
Yeah, I mean, I believe that his versatility is what makes him valuable right now. Because he doesn't have the rush plan. He doesn't have the refined pass rush moves. He doesn't have the production on going to get the quarterback. Being able to kick him on the inside where he can have a lot more production versus interior offensive linemen while he's still learning how to pick those other skills up is what helps him, right? I think that his versatility is what keeps him on the field. However, the performance is what we're going to start looking at after next year, right? Like not his versatility. That don't matter. What the numbers are giving us. He's the 11th overall pick. So we can't have like we have to have tangible results.
You notice so far though, Coach, most of these first round picks this year was not that great. Although throughout that drafting process, a lot of people overhyped most of these players. Like remember Mike Green. He hasn't shown nothing.
Well, I'll close with this. Even with last year's draft, it was hard to pick out 12 guys in the first round that were true first round picks. I that's how I felt. But hey, Alan, love the call, man.
All right, I
Call
got
back
one
again,
last
bro.
question. You can answer this after yeah,
All
after
right, I
this
got
for
you.
me.
Uh-huh.
Knowing our roster now and the needs we need, who would you use that first round pick on? Thank you, Coach. You can answer
I,
it after this.
I got you. For me, if I'm going first round pick, uh, you can shoot for the stars and get somebody truly different, right? And for me, the only couple of guys that are like truly different in this year's draft is Caleb Downs. I think he's different. He's a difference maker. I mean, that's like the next Sean Taylor, in my opinion. This is a guy that once you get him at safety, the whole identity of the defense goes to what Caleb Downs is going to get. He's that special, guys. Really, go back and just go watch some tape. Outside of that, I don't see anybody else that's worth us going to go get. Maybe I don't know. Maybe what's my boy out of Clemson? Woods, Peter Woods. I'm a big Peter Woods guy. Maybe he'll fall to us as well. But hey, PDX Niner, what you got for
Well,
me? How you doing?
good. First things first, man. Trip Prolke was never brought up in that conversation. That is not who Dieter was implying, or it's not
Okay,
known.
okay. Correct me. Correct me. Who was he implying?
He wasn't implying anybody. He was being very like, I can't talk about it. So
But
like,
wait. But whoa. Isn't that why you don't do that though? Like if we're gonna think it's true, we're gonna think it's Trey Baalke.
I don't know. I leave it open to whatever, right? Like I don't make
All
any
right, okay,
assumptions on that.
okay, all right. He gets clemency. Go ahead. What you got?
I got a question for you as far as
Go ahead.
like player development goes. Since you play in college, right? How important is like not the next training camp, but just like the like when you learn something, right? Like you learn it and then you take a break from it and you synthesize that information. So
Mm-hmm.
like the off season for the rookies, who I liked a lot of them, how important is it going to be for like somebody like a Mike Hill Williams who may not be in camp, right? Like how much can they still gain in the off season just with the rest and the reflection that they'll have on the season?
Reflection on the season is big. This is kind of like your first time where your expectations of being on your own as a pro really take over. I know that in college, it's kind of the first time when I coached, it's the first time where the boys get told what they need to do over the summer instead of being walked through a summer program, right? So the biggest thing is rest, to be real with you. And not getting out of shape. Now, different guys or different positions is different for what they need to work on. Specifically, conditioning is huge. So I don't care what you thought you learned, what you picked up, what you looked at. There's really not that much film that you can take in on a daily basis that you can just completely be a different player. Nothing is going to change like being able to come back in camp healthy, in shape. You need to be in shape, okay? And being ready to kind of pick up that muscle memory of where you left off. Now, training on air, picking up certain things, learning new techniques, meeting with coaches that, they send you to different trainers. You know how like we were sending our quarterbacks over to John Beck. All of those things help you, but I look at that from a sense of like the diet, right? When you want to lose weight and you put together all of these great workout plans that you're going to do. You're going to get up in the morning and walk 10,000 steps. You're going to do HIIT training, and then you're going to switch it over to interval training, and all of these best laid plans. All of it surmasses to 20% of your overall of the overall effort to help you lose weight, right? Because 80% is what? Your diet, right? So
Yep.
no matter what you do, I understand all of that can look pretty. You can get shoes and bungee cords and all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, if you ain't eating right, if you're not getting rest, if you're not recovering, none of that shit is going to matter, right? So the biggest thing for the young guys coming in is that they need to retain all of the information that they have. One thing that I love about a Mike Hill Williams is that I could see if we were like our normal selves. Like healthy, Michael Williams was a package guy and he was getting pieced through the defense. Like, hey, we're rolling you out. We're not necessarily going to put more on your plate than you can handle. And then he got hurt. That would be devastating from a standpoint of he really isn't an NFL player yet. He hasn't played full games. He doesn't know what it's like to go through all of the
He's only 22.
yeah, all of the scenarios that you can go through, but the 9 games that Michael played for us is pretty much, in my opinion, 150% past the experience had he got if he would have traditionally been a package guy that comes in for us on the first 2 downs throughout the entire season. He got that much time on task. Like Alfred Collins, they got that much time on task. Rookies don't get that much playing time, especially on a roster like ours, right? So for me, I understand that the injuries with Michael and Alfred Collins, we learned that Alfred Collins has got a shoulder situation he's got to handle. It sucks because it puts him down, but the truth is that they need to be resting anyway.
Yeah.
My biggest thing is just don't get out of shape. Like their nutrition and recovering, that's the biggest thing. But, with Michael, he's going to get his knee back and he'll be ready to go. But as far as, what he lost, I think it's a wash.
That makes sense. As far as free agent goes, I'm agnostic to it. It's like the player on the deal, except for one player, which is they can't bring back Debo. They just can't bring him back. He's a net negative because Kyle will want to use him. But who I'd really like to see if he gets away from Seattle is Boye Mafe. I think he would be a very nice addition.
Yeah, Boye Mafe will be amazing. For us, we need to get younger, faster, and stronger. I don't like our trenches, man, on both sides of the ball, and I don't care about going to go get the quarterback. Not now. I feel like edge is starting to become one of those positions like receiver. Like it's kind of oversaturated, and everybody is an edge nowadays. Everybody's going to go get the quarterback. You should be able to engineer that. My biggest thing is takeovers. We got to get some DBs. We got to get some interior defensive linemen that can push the pocket. I would love if there was one position out of all of the trenches that we could get. We need a new center. We need a new center, right? Having a new center changes everything. Having a new center, I'm going to tell you this right now. Getting a new center, in a way, is solving half of your problem with not having George Kittle ready to go by week 1. That's 50% of your problem saved if you get a center where we could just block with 5.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of have to, right? Like, and like a lot of other that's one of the things that in that podcast Dieter talked about was like, the Seattle defensive line as it's constructed right now is there's nothing we can do against it. We need some big boys up front to just deal with it. It's not you're not gonna be able to scheme around it. You just have to beat them. And so like if it'll be a really, really bad sign if we don't do something about it because Kyle thinks he can outsmart it. It'll be a really good sign for us if we draft somebody who can really push some people because it'll be like, okay, Kyle's acknowledged that he can't beat this defense without some sort of actual power element or like true athlete up front,
Okay, so let me ask you this, and I'm going to ask this question to everybody else as they come up as well. Is it looking at what Seattle did with winning the Super Bowl? Is the road to bouncing back and being in Super Bowl contention longer or shorter in today's NFL? Or do you think that it hasn't changed? That you need the traditional 3 to 4 years to get everything together, get your quarterback, go out there and get your free agent splash with your big name to help you go there. Then you got to draft, get draft for 3 years in a row and get it right. Make sure you get some hits. Or is it more reasonable to understand that because the competition and the parity of the league is wide open, that you can find yourself deep into the playoffs with a good couple of years with putting together a roster. What say you?
I think if you're smart about it, it's not a 3 to 4 year I mean, like if you're so like what you're talking about is like the Raiders, right? The Raiders have 3 to 4, maybe even 5 years before they're really like good, right? They're just that talent deficient right now, and if they fuck
Mm-hmm.
up, sorry, a little bit along the way, right? Like they're going to be put back another year because they just don't have anybody except for like Brock Bowers and whatnot. For a team like ours or like a middle of the pack team, it's just really about being smart in your decision making. So, and being pragmatic. So in the draft, right? It's not, I know we pigeonhole people all the time when we draft. They fall in love with some random player that we're all like, what are you doing? But you know, letting people come to you and then scheming around the talent that comes to you, and you're not filling needs, you're just growing new strengths. And the same thing could be said about free agency, where if you're smart and you don't overspend and you don't underspend, right? Like you're not necessarily going out and getting Trey Hendrickson, but you're going out and getting you're filling out with smart depth and everything. You could be back in a year or two. I think it's not I think teams do it all the time, right? Like I think Jim Harbaugh came in with I mean, the Chargers were already kind of a playoff team, and they had some unfortunate injuries, right, on offensive line this year. But I mean, like in a couple of years, it feels like they're like you could call them a super contender or a Super Bowl contender if they're healthy. Um, I think personally, and then like I don't know, like Denver, Sean Payton turned that team around in a couple of years just with like a few players. So, and they're definitely a Super Bowl contender in the AFC at the very least. So I don't think it has to be a 4 year process. It's all about uh like your evaluation, I guess. Like who are you bringing in that makes sense fiscally, like use free agency to fill holes and try to match up your needs with what the draft is giving you. And I think you can be in a good spot.
So I see this comment right here. The Seahawks showed that the league is caught up with Kyle's 1994 offense. Who was the offensive coordinator of the Seahawks, man?
This Clint Kubiak. I mean, the Kyle Shanahan.
What are we
offense,
talking about, bro? The
Mike
offense
McDonald,
is spreading like a goddamn virus. Everybody in the league is running the offense. What are we talking about?
Seattle built their whole defense to stop this offense.
It's built to stop this offense. That's the entire reason. Dog. The things that are said. Look, bro, the problem is that Kyle, the originality of the offense has been spread all over the place. He's got to find more ways, McDaniel just hired on with the Chargers. Don't look now, but we're about to see Justin Herbert running this offense, right? It's spreading all over the league. All right, who's the OC down there with Robert Saleh? Who did he pick up as his OC?
Brian Dable.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Dable's not a Kyle guy. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense with Cam Ward if you're trying to replicate Josh Allen with him. But I'm not a Dable guy. I didn't think he did a great job in New York, and I think it's pretty clear that it was all Josh Allen being a megastar versus any sort of real coaching from him. I mean, I'm not trying to like talk down on him or anything. He obviously played a huge part in that, but like Josh Allen is transcendent. So it's not I don't think it was his scheme that was like brilliant. I think developing Josh Allen was the brilliance of Dable. But yeah, like I think the key to Kyle's offense not being stagnant is not letting him pick the players. He has to figure out how to use the guys that come to him and not have guys that fit into his system. Like you evolve your system with players with new and different talents. You don't try to find the talents that fit into your system. And so like if he, some of the stuff about him handing away general manager capacity on the daily basis, not he is still the final say, but like the day-to-day scouting, researching, these are the players we got to take. If they get if they start doing that, I think Kyle will be forced to adapt instead of finding like the player that's like a perfect fit. Does that make sense?
100%. It's basically they're going for need and not for best available.
Yeah.
Hey man, thank you so much for calling in, PDX man. I'm gonna see you next weekend, man.
Sounds good, man.
I'll holler at you, brother.
Peace.
All right. Oh yeah, and by the way, Bobby Slowick got another job. He's the OC at Miami, which is wild.
Sure.
Chris,
What's going on, Coach?
wasn't even ready. What's good, bruh?
I wasn't. Hey, man, first off, I want to say this, man. I enjoy your commentary.
Thank you, man.
I put you on during the game, and I turned the commentary off. Everybody that I tap to, I tell them, you got to check this man out. Full stop,
you,
man. I enjoy your enthusiasm. I enjoy everything that you got going on. The first time I got on Grant's channel, I told him that I had in him his flowers, and I got to do the same to you, brother. Man,
thank you, man.
You killing it, man. I enjoy your content. You and Jesse Naylor, you guys doing your thing, man.
He's my dog.
I really enjoy your content. So, hats off to you, brother. I enjoy it.
Thank you, man. What you got for me, man?
Well, I really got just two things. The first thing I want to say is that our whole organization is just like we're trying to win a race with 4 different tires. Like it's not working. Nobody really seems to. I mean, everything I saw the thing that you did with Jesse when you were talking about with how Jed Kyle only answers to Jed and all that other stuff, and that right there speaks volumes, because when we had that Ayuk situation, right, and they were letting him go, and then Kyle went up there and stopped it, right? What does that tell you? That's telling you that they all knew that, hey, we got to get rid of this cat. And they went around Kyle and did not tell him. And when he found out, then he went to go stop it, because he is the one that has the power. That in itself is a problem. If you really look at it, we just think, oh, well, Kyle stopped it. That's power. That is unchecked power. So the question you got to start.
Go ahead.
It's Jed, because not only is Kyle a first-time head coach, we got a first-time halfway owner. And when his daddy shows up, everybody gets nervous, because they know that he is not. I mean, what was that a couple of years ago when we made it to the NFC Championship game, but we were tanking it. We weren't doing so well. And then John York showed up to the organization, and then everybody was like, "Oh man, you remember that?"
I think that's when we the 3-5. See, we were 3-5, and Dr. York showed up. I remember that. Yep.
Yeah. So where do the Bucks stop? They're yeah. But the figurehead is John, is Jed, and he's trying to it's things are not going to change, because we really have to restructure the top half of the organization. It doesn't matter the players that you bring in. It almost doesn't, because we've had the best roster in the league. And it's like you said, what was that? Kyle knows recipes, but not diet, or whatever, which one that was. how you put he
he knows recipes, but he doesn't know how to cook. He doesn't know how to cook for his diet.
Yeah. See, this is the most damning thing to Kyle, and I don't think anybody's ever brought this up. But in the past, 8 or 9 years, right? The Eagles went to the Super Bowl twice, lost one, went back and won the other. Rams went twice, lost one, went back and won. The Bucks went with what's his name, Arians, and won. Yeah, and then just now Seattle went and won. And Kyle has been to 2, went back and lost to the same opponent twice. So the Eagles and the Rams both lost, but went back a second time and won.
And avenged themselves.
Yeah. We have a problem. We have a problem. And he does not.
Yeah. I get it. Yes.
I don't know what the answer is, except for we should. I mean, there's only one coach that I would fire Kyle for.
Who?
Just one. And
Jim?
it's a name off in left field. And that would be Brian Flores.
I knew you were going to say Brian Flores. I don't know. Brian Flores, he gets a lot of like Brian Flores. You know what? Brian Flores gets like the Bo Jackson treatment. You know how Bo Jackson gets a lot of credit off of his very illustrious sports career. However, it was short. It was very short-lived. And a lot of the lore and the prestige that Bo Jackson gets isn't necessarily because of what he did, because it really wasn't a lot, but it's forecasted into what he could have been. I feel like Brian Flores gets the Bo Jackson treatment because of how he was ousted out of Miami and he was doing so well. And the truth of the matter is that he was right about Tua all along.
Yeah.
Right? He was right. That's the big thing about Brian Flores. He was right about Tua when it was really popular to say that he was crazy for not wrapping his arms around Tua. And now we see that he was right all along. So I don't know. And he's a defensive guy. I don't know. Defensive guy just won the Super Bowl. We'll see. Two defensive coaches were in the Super Bowl this year too. Actually, that's crazy.
Yeah. And to that, I just I don't know who. I mean, you kind of messed out when you didn't hire Saleh. Like, it's so sad that all of these things happened. The 49er thing that came out on the AMC channel, I watched it, I forgot what it was, the Back to the Gold or what have you. And then you had Tom Brady narrating it, a guy that you should have picked up. Then on top of that, you got your rival winning in your house. And then Roger Craig finally got into the Hall of Fame, and you need to retire that man's number. Don't nobody need to be wearing 33 no more.
Respect.
They need to retire that man's number. But I don't know. I don't know which way is up anymore because our offensive line is atrocious. It's atrocious. It's horrible. What do you do when I watch that Super Bowl? When I watch that Super Bowl, you know what play stands out to me the most? That one play. No, not the.
With you talking about with Spencer Burford giving up the stunt, letting Chris Jones through on the A gap.
No. This previous Super Bowl, the Seahawks Super Bowl.
Oh, Seahawks. Okay.
Yeah, when that defensive lineman pushed that guard all the way back to the quarterback and then sacked him, it was a straight bull rush.
Yeah,
it was very similar to that time when we played the Saints in the playoff game, and Justice Smith took that tackle and pushed him all the way back.
Him all the way in the back.
Yeah, and grabbed the quarter. That when I saw that, I said to myself, "We got problems." I
Yeah, we don't
mean,
have that.
no. I mean, Kyle, granted, he's a good coach, but it's like you and Jesse pointed out, he's arrogant. When 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 Jawan Jennings had that game and he caught like 12 passes for like 3 touchdowns or whatever, and we still lost. And then everybody was asking Kyle about Jawan Jennings and this, that, and the other. And I never forget it. He literally said, Jawan has always been one of our best 11. It's just hard to get him on the field.
Mm-hmm.
That don't make sense.
Yeah, because it just makes it look. They're trying to find ways to get him inside the process. You know, it's meaning that like when he gets his shot, he makes a banger. He makes an awesome go of it. But you know, he's not good enough for us to actually spend time on featuring him. That's what that basically says. Like when he gets his shot, he's amazing. But we got guys that, you know, quite frankly, with the team, man, you got to also understand that sometimes the money gets in the way of the logic, where you're not going to see a lot. You're not going to see a traditional rollout of depth, guys getting on the field, balance, because certain guys are getting paid a lot of money, and they need to replicate why they're getting paid. They need to justify why they're getting paid, and that needs to be seen in like their reps and their performance. The number one guy that comes to mind when you think about all of this is Christian McCaffrey. How much he gets overutilized, but people forget how much money he's getting paid, man. Chris, thank you so much for calling in, man. You got to call back, bro. You got to call back.
Oh, I will. I got the hookup now. All right, you have a good one, Coach.
Man. Talk to you, man. Tyler, my guy. You're muted. You're muted, bro. You're muted. Hold on, let me see. Edit mic settings. Yeah, you should be able to go. I can't hear you, brother. Hold on. Let's see. Try to unmute. Are you on your phone? Try to unmute your phone. Maybe your phone is muted. Like maybe unmute your phone, or like maybe you have your phone on silent. See what you got for me, bro. No good? Come on, Tyler. I wanted you to be my last caller, man. Come on, Tyler. Hold on. Let me get any people. Tyler, I'm trying to turn you on. Come out and come back in. Use the same link. Come out and come back in. Yeah, guys. So look, I love the calls. All of you guys, like I said, the call-in shows are going to be every weekend. So we're going to be able to ring them up and definitely get into the draft. I can't wait to get into the draft. This year's draft, tons and tons of what we need. A lot of running backs, a lot of receivers. There's a lot of interior defensive line from this year's draft. So I'm excited about the draft. I wouldn't be mad at the Niners trading back and getting more picks. There's that much talent in this year's draft, especially for the defensive line. And I think that really now that we've got 2 drafts under our belt, it's the time. Now is the time for you guys to get into for us to start getting younger, right? Start elevating some other dudes. And I believe that this is the time for us to try to get more picks and get things together. Tyler, you're the last person I'm coming in. I'm giving you 2 minutes, and then I'm rolling. It's Valentine's Day, guys. So just understand that Coach got to keep a happy home. You know what I'm saying? And I can't be on here YouTubing it up, flying all over the place. You know what I'm saying? And my lady's looking at me like, boy, I'm a your tube. So Tyler,
can you hear me now, Coach?
I got you, brother. Talk to me.
So it's been a while. And you know what? I want to say you proved me right. You're right that we performed better than I expected.
I told you that. I was waiting for you to mention that because you were not good. You were down on us, and I said, "Dude, give us some time." I'm encouraged by what we're gonna do.
Yeah, and I think we are punching in an upper weight class this year.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, you got to the playoffs. I will give you. I'll tip my cap.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
With the amount of injuries that this team had, I have to respect it. But the fact is, you saw your arch rival win a world championship in your own stadium.
Damn it, man.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing,
bad.
coach.
It's bad. It's bad. Look, look. This is how I know that we're the worst fans on planet Earth. We don't even care about the playoffs. Look at Elmore.
Exactly.
Look
I agree. Like we went to the playoffs and then we're like, okay, whatever. Because we went to the Super Bowl for 2 years and we didn't win a world championship, coach.
Hey, look. This is the truth. This is what we have. This is what we have given, man. Where listen, first of all, I love our fans because nobody knows how to take the air out of the room like Niners fans. Like, oh, NFC Championship game. Oh, break out the fucking Tipper Parade. Like, who gives a fuck? So I love the cynicism of our fans. Like, if it's not a championship, nobody really cares. It's hard to have it's hard for us to have moral victories, if you will. But look, they knew that this was going to be a rough season.
Yeah.
And if you look at it, there were some petty things that they did in the beginning that really showed. Kyle all but took complete access from the team away from us. They barely let us know when they were even going to have camp. They switched the fields around to the point where even if you went to camp, you were in the back of an end zone. They would be able to be hundreds of yards away from you. Nobody knew what was going on. Then they brought in this draft class that they knew that they were going to have to play immediately, tried to make it seem as though they had to earn their way, knowing that Michael Williams, Alfred Collins, these guys were going to play immediately. On top of that, they had Brandon Ayuk down, out, nowhere to be found, didn't even play during the season. And they had Juwan Jennings, who didn't have a camp, right? And was winning money of his own. There's a lot that happened during this season where things could have fell apart and the cynicism would have been at an all-time high. I'm talking about Hall of Fame put the jersey in the rafters jokes would have been crazy if we would have fallen on our faces this year. So I know going to the playoffs and winning one game in the playoffs, you can look at that big whoop. I get it. But the other side of that coin is freaking Hiroshima. Everybody, the sky would have been falling if the Niners would have won 4 games this year. So,
Can I
gotta
add
take the
one
good with the
thing,
bad.
coach? This is all like I've said before. This is all self-inflicted with Kyle missing on a bunch of draft picks.
Yeah.
Because we try to supplement this roster with guys that have been in the NFL years and years, and we use up our draft capital to get guys like McCaffrey, guys like Trent Williams. And if you can't, if you're getting younger, you can't put, it almost seems like we have 1 foot in and 1 foot out with this roster, coach. We want to get younger, but Kyle knows that supposedly the players have to know his system first on offense. So I'm like, are we going to get younger or are we going to stick with this roster that we have right now that hasn't won a title?
Well, we got to get younger. We
Yeah.
have to get faster. I love what we're doing with our money right now. Chunderboy was in here the other day saying that we have upwards the amount of maybe $80 million in cap space. I got to see it to believe it. Right now, as far as our cap is concerned, where are we at cap space?
I saw like 52 million, coach.
41. We're at.
So I was in the ballpark.
Yeah, we're top 10. We're at 10th overall. We've got the 10th highest cap space in the NFL right now. Titans are number 1 with 104 million. Raiders, Chargers. God, the Chargers have 83 million. The Jets, the Commanders are still up there with 74 million. Dude, the Seahawks have $63 million in cap space.
And they just won the world title.
The Bengals, the Rams, the Steelers, and then us.
And
so
I can't believe I'm about to say this, Coach. Do you want to hear what I was thinking during the Super Bowl?
What?
I honestly wanted the Seahawks to win for this one reason.
Tell me
because
why.
it gives Kyle some motivation to see, hey, your arch rival just won a world championship in your own stadium. If that doesn't give you, like, light a fire in your behind to get a world title at this point, I don't know what does.
Hey, we're going to close it out with that. Tyler, thank you for calling in. Call back again. Stay faithful, my friend.
I will, Coach.
Talk to you.
You and Grant, and before you go, you, Grant, and Jesse, you guys do a wonderful job.
Thank you so much, man. I'll talk to you, Tyler.
All right.
All right, so look, Tyler's gone, and we got one more dude. And it wouldn't be a call-in show if we didn't close out with this guy. Now, you got to be a Coach's Huddle OG to know who this dude is. We coming from the mean streets of New York City, all right? I got my man Dre Day in the back right now. I don't even think he knows that I'm about to call him up. He's so wild right now. He walking through the boroughs right now, and I'm looking at nothing but brownstones and fire escapes. This is the dog, Dre Day. He probably don't even know he on live right now. This is Dre. I said Dre. He don't even know. He walking in the building right now. Dre. What's good, Dre?
So listen. So listen, in order to when we traded for our center Richenberg many years ago,
you're just gonna start talking
because I got so much to say. It's Kyle Shanahan. What do you expect from me, man? It's Kyle.
Go ahead,
So I gotta get right into it. We're dealing with Kyle Shanahan, man.
All right, son. Go ahead, Dre.
So I started playing Madden with the 49ers many years ago at the start of the regime with a good center in Richenberg, and I won Super Bowls under Kyle Shanahan.
See. You got the Campbell soup connection right now. You got the Campbell soup connection. You got it. Where you at? You in the elevator? This nigga in the elevator.
To win the Super Bowl.
Hold on. I'm taking control of this. Dre, go somewhere and sit down. You can't be on my shit, bro, and you're not stationary, bro. I love you, Dre, but you be doing the most, bro. Like, can you please find somewhere to sit?
Yeah. So I was getting the delivery, and I was waiting on the call. I didn't want it to lose connection and or whatever, so I stayed on or whatever. But look, I'm glad to be here.
My dog. Go ahead.
It's a lot, man. So listen, many years ago, I played Madden, with Kyle Shanahan's 49ers, and I won the Super Bowl. Like within 2 drafts, I was able to win the Super Bowl using Kyle Shanahan's offensive scheme. But I always made sure that through the free agency and through the draft, that my trenches, i.e., for example, the defensive line and primarily the offensive line, because I was dealing with Jimmy Garoppolo, and I wanted to basically, based on his salary at the time, he was highly paid, and I had Fred Warner. Fred Warner was young, but the point is that I made sure I buffered up the trenches within those 2 to 3 years, really 2 years. And even though it's Madden and it's a video game, it's simple. You go by ratings, you go by how talented these players are. So at the beginning of the Kyle Shanahan's regime, he had an awesome center that he paid a lot of money to. All he had to do was build around that, okay? But
Weston Richburg.
Yeah, Weston Richburg. So what I ended up doing, what I realized was within the 2 years of his regime, the money I was paying for the center, I could have drafted a good center by the second round, and I could have saved money by trading away Weston Richburg, which I always did every time I reloaded my franchise, and I was able to get more in free agency. I had more money in my salary cap. This is very simple, even though this is a video game. Always build through your trenches. You got to, for example, every offensive line, no matter what era of football you're in, you got to be able to have offensive linemen that can push the defensive linemen 2 or 3 yards back, at least at the snap of the football, between the line, the yards of scrimmage, the line yards of scrimmage on the hash marks. You got to be able to push these guys back at the snap, whether your running back is talented or not, and that requires beef up front. The same thing on the defensive line. At the snap, you got to be able to be 3 yards in the backfield, before the quarterback gets his proper stance, and that takes guys like Nick Bosa, but he's inconsistent, as we all know. What I realized is that even though I was winning Super Bowls, I was getting a lot of injuries through Madden. This is a video game. So someone in particular or something on the staff of Kyle Shanahan, even on the video game of Madden, since the beginning of his regimes, has been letting our elite players I would have Kittle by week 5. Kittle would be gone. The only person that would last long is Fred Warner. This is his first major injury, and that's because injury, and that's because Fred is a warrior, and he should have won a championship by now. I say all this to say the trenches, even through the video game of Madden, as a 49er fan, I began with Weston Richburg. And I traded him, and I got more money back in the second year of Kyle Shanahan's regime, and I built through the trenches. So what Seattle has done is they went back to the Legion of Doom. Their current DBs are long, they're lengthy. In order to win a Super Bowl, it takes defense. You want to win games, it takes offense. You got to have gadgets, and you got to have these star players. But if you want to really make money and win Super Bowls and really have a legacy, you gotta be able to draft through the trenches. That way, within those 4 years, those hard knock trench like players like what Philadelphia has, you get them at a cheap price, and you can keep 2 of the 4 on that defensive line and draft another, edge or the defensive tackle. I'm going on tangents. The point is the trenches. Kyle Shanahan doesn't believe in that. He wants to win in a more glorifying way, and that's cool. You can do that. Again, I won many Super Bowls playing Madden with Kyle Shanahan's scheme. It can work. It's fine. It needs to evolve by now, because that was maybe like 10 years ago. But if you want to be successful on defense and offense, the trenches, you got to have guys that can. The guys that we've had under Kyle Shanahan's regime offensive line, they've only been able to bench maybe 250. These guys are weak. So you cannot rely on the quickness and the quick routes of George Kittle and Purcell and D. Sample. All of that, that stuff gets overloaded when you have a strong defensive line like Seahawks. And they did that through the trenches over the years, quietly, subtly, and now, boom, these guys are ready to go. They put it together because management care, the up higher care. You know what I'm saying? John Lynch cares about press conferences. Kyle Shanahan cares about, hey, that play was a great idea by me. Look, none of that matters when you got real grown men in the trenches. You can make up as many fancy plays as you want. It just doesn't matter. If you've got grown men in the trenches that is ready to blow your play up, it just doesn't matter.
No, Dre, your sound. Where'd your sound go?
You don't hear me?
Oh, I hear you now. Go ahead, Dre.
Yeah, I thought I was talking too much. I know you got a line. I appreciate your work, man.
You closing us out.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm running out of time or not. It's just so much to say with Kyle Shanahan, man. I'm heartbroken. It's been 10 years. I stopped playing Madden because of Kyle. Kyle is just stubborn. I'm not. We won't win a Super Bowl until he's gone. I'm a realistic fan. A lot of our fans, they're hopefuls, and I love them, but we got to be realistic. The trenches.
Yo, did you say you stopped playing Madden because of Kyle's son?
Yeah, because I said to myself, how come I'm able to win Super Bowls with your offensive scheme, and all I have to do is make sure that my defensive backs like I was literally my so I would make sure that my primary defensive back was who was it? Richard Sherman at the time. And so when he got old, I was mindful of that management wise, and I made sure my franchise I drafted someone that was tall, lanky, and that could replace that same stature. And everyone else, look, DBs, all they need to do is be fast, run a 4.3, and be long, 6'3" and above, and you're winning the Super Bowl. It's easy because you can have a miniature Edelman or Pearsall guy that's quick and fast on their routes, but they're going to get over. They're going to get over. It's good. Their routes are going to get blown up because these defensive backs are too long and lanky. And your trenches got to be speedy and they've got to be beefy. You got to beef up, right? Pooney, he's beefed up a little bit, but he needs help. We need another guard. We need a left guard from the draft so we can spend years on him. So we can spend on him. That's what I would do. First round, I'm getting a left guard. Second round, I'm getting a tackle. And that's it. Purdy will be fine if he's protected. He's not the best. He's below average. But hey, look, the money is the market. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. He's a nice guy, and that's why everybody loves him, gives him a lot of chances. I get it. But we got to be real, man. Let's go through the trenches. Let's buckle down and build through the trenches, Kyle. Let's stop the games, man. We can bring back let me see. We can draft a wide receiver in a late round. So be it. I would go trenches on offense the first 2 rounds, and within the first 4 rounds, I'd go trenches on the defense. I'm trenches. You got to invest in the trenches, man.
You just like literally, you went left, right, up, down, L1, R2, X, Y, B, start, select, trigger 3, trigger 4, and then you landed the cheat with trenches. Like you landed it for me. Everything you said, start, middle, end, who, what, when, where, why, and how, and you finish with trenches, you got me. You got me. I'm on board if it's all about the trenches. Dre, listen, you my dog. You gotta close out my call-in shows from now on, bro. This is it. Dre, we gotta hire you. We gotta get you going. We got to start some type of higher Dre to the coaching staff.
Speaking of the fact that you said that, I do have many talents. I guess that's what you're seeing right now.
Okay.
I would love to work with you. I would love to work with you. I would love to work with you. I'm college educated. I'm a veteran. I would love to work with you. I've been a fan a long time, but we got to actually do a show together because I got a lot of, obviously a lot of input and stuff. But I would be a great addition, man. I could give you my phone number, whatever, man. Just give me a chance. And I'm just, I'm out here in New York, and that's it, man. From politics to football, whatever. I'm out.
Dre, we gonna wrap, dog. Hit my email up. You know my email? The
channel email. I've been for many years. I've been having so much to say, but I've been
just stay in the studio. I'm gonna end the show. Just stay in the studio. We gonna wrap. Just stay in the studio.
I'm not that savvy, so I do want to take it down. Go ahead. I'm ready.
No. Just stay in the studio, brother. We gonna talk after the show. Just stay where you at. All right,
man. I'm gonna stay here in the studio, man.
Don't, nigga. You acting like this is my studio. What you talking about? Like I'm gonna run away from you. I'm gonna stay here in the studio. I got you, bruh. Hold on, man. Look, this is the coach signing off. Hey, man, this was a great ending to a call-in show. The call-in shows will be back. I have one super chat. Let me get it out the way. Somali Mall 8580. What about a trade for Michael Pittman Jr.? He's only making $23.3 a year. That's not top 15 in last year of his deal. He's a bigger, faster Jennings, and he's a low-tier guy. I get it. Michael Pittman Jr. at receiver, I understand. I want some speed, man, to be real with you. I want some speed. I don't know if Michael Pittman Jr. could be that guy. Hopefully, another big receiver, paying him $23.3 a year. I don't know if he will be a number 1 for us, but we'll see. But thank you for the super chat. This is the coach signing off. Stay low and keep your feet moving. Holla at you guys. My dog.